Who is Bigfoot?
I love it. Love it.
Because our younger fans are really into Bigfoot, and so they requested this topic. So, do you know who Bigfoot is? The legend of Bigfoot.
I'm gonna go real quick because there's a lot I could say. He's a creature who lives in the woods somewhere that has not been confirmed whether he's real or not, and he's got big feet.
Okay, love it.
There we go.
Pretty close. So Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, which sounds weird to say Sasquatch. I would say a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
But then again, there are many Bigfoot. Are they big feet?
Yeah. I think, what if there was like lots of them, like a herd of them? What would you call that?
Big feet.
Big feet?
I don't know. Because I was just saying, known as Sasquatch, like I wouldn't say, and there's this animal known as pig.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're pigs, or there's elephants, not elephant.
I think if there was like a group of them and we're like trying to define a group name, I would call it a heel of Bigfoots.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
A locker of Bigfoot.
A
Like
locker?
the foot locker. For the shoes.
That's so good. It's a locker.
Well, okay. Anyways, Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is a legendary, large, hairy creature that is described as being part human and part animal. He's typically, and by he, people often say he. There could be she, big feet.
Yeah, come on, people.
But could be he.
Open your minds.
Typically stand at 6 to 8 feet tall with ape-like features. So they're known to walk upright on their back legs like a human would, but have longer hair covering their face. They don't look like humans other than that they stand upright and kind of walk a bit like humans. But about 6 to 8 feet tall is what most people estimate. They're said to inhabit remote forests across North America, leaving behind oversized large footprints and occasionally startling hikers, loggers, or campers.
Wow.
So while some consider Bigfoot to be completely mythical due to there being any hard evidence, such as bones or DNA from a Bigfoot, Bigfoot has become very cultural folklore. Like people tell stories about Bigfoot. Many believe that he exists, and there's been thousands of reported sightings over the decades.
Thousands is a lot.
Thousands, yeah. And you can actually see all these reportings at the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization.
No way.
Called BFRO. So they have documented thousands of reported encounters and numbered them, and they've graded them on levels like A and B. So B would be that you heard some rustling in the woods and maybe smelled a funky smell, because Bigfoot is known to smell like a wet dog and not great. Or you found footprints. That would be a B level sighting, and an A level would be you saw him with your eyes.
Wow.
Yeah. Bigfoot's often portrayed as being shy or elusive, roaming wooded areas in search of food and not wanting to come in contact with humans. Yeah. So do you know where the origins of Bigfoot came from?
I'm going to guess somewhere in America.
Okay.
Although I feel like it could be Canadian as well.
Cool.
So, yeah.
That's a great guess. It's kind of both. So the legend of Bigfoot has deep roots in Native American folklore, particularly among Pacific Northwest tribes. So that would be like Washington State, Oregon, up into Canada, that area.
Wow.
The first historical documentation of Bigfoot sightings date to the early 1800s, but these legends are considered ancient, often described as existing before recorded history. So within Native communities and tribes, the legend of Bigfoot has existed for like pretty much forever. But the first documented evidence would have been in the 1800s, because Native American tribes didn't have like formal writing or record keeping kind of a thing. So the modern version of Bigfoot gained traction in the 20th century. In 1929, a Canadian man named J.W. Bruns, who worked with indigenous tribes, published accounts of hairy giants based on the stories from these local tribes. And he coined the term.
There we go.
What does that mean, to coin a term?
Coin the term?
I know what it means, but I wonder where that came from.
You got a term?
And you coin it.
Put a coin on it. That's mine.
Well, anyways, so he heard these stories from indigenous tribes, and he coined the term Sasquatch, which came from a native word, Sasquatch, that translated to hairy man or wild man.
There we go.
So that's where we get the word Sasquatch.
Huh.
The U.S. concept of Bigfoot exploded about 20 years later in 1938 when a journalist called Andrew Gonzoli reported on massive 16-inch footprints found by loggers near Bluff Creek, California, dubbing the culprit Bigfoot.
Got it.
Which then became one word, Bigfoot. Early reports include sightings from settlers of a wild man in the Oregon River area in 1904 and also encounters with miners in the 1800s. So kind of this amalgamation of people sighting it and what we now know as Bigfoot. And similar legends exist in other parts of the world, like the Yeti in the Himalayas, but Bigfoot's story is tied specifically to North America.
Cool.
Yeah. So where do you think Bigfoot is most sighted?
North America.
Within the U.S.?
Within the U.S. Probably Minnesota.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I'd say Minnesota. I could also see not Wyoming. Yeah, Wyoming maybe. Yeah, those are my two guesses.
So the majority of Bigfoot sightings are concentrated in the Pacific Northwest area, Washington State and Oregon in particular, because there's very dense forests that aren't as cold maybe as like Minnesota or something. Yeah. So an ideal habitat for Bigfoot. And so according to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, Washington State leads with 642 reported encounters. And then California is number 2 with 437. And then the third most common state is surprisingly Florida.
Weird.
So he's living out in the Everglades swamps.
He's a snowbird.
Yeah.
He winters there.
There's been recorded Bigfoot sightings in every U.S. state except for Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah. And in my home state of Colorado, there's been 131 documented sightings, with one that happened last year, actually. So in March of 2025, there was a report from Boulder County where a resident reported spotting an 8-foot-tall ape-like figure walking briskly along the road north to Boulder around about 10 p.m.
That's big for a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be 6 foot something.
Yeah.
So 8-foot Bigfoot, who's probably like the leader.
Just walking along the road?
Yeah. Just
head
going
toward
for a
Boulder.
walk.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So I pulled up a couple of Bigfoot encounter stories.
Okay.
So one happened in Pike National Forest in Colorado in 1998. There was a professional hunting guide leading a group of hunters in the Pike National Forest, and they spotted a massive dark figure squatting by a beaver pond at dusk. It stood up to be an estimated 8 feet tall with long arms and a cone-shaped head. The next day, the group found enormous footprints that dwarfed their size 10 boots by like an extra 8 inches. And the next year, hunting alone in the same area, that same guide had a close encounter where a large creature approached his camp at night, circled around it, and made deep vocalization, groaning noises.
Okay.
And he described feeling watched and hearing heavy footsteps. And since that time, there's been 10 additional sightings in the Pike National Forest.
10 sightings?
Yeah.
Must have moved there.
There we go. And then one more that I thought was fun from Eatonville, Washington State in 2010. A group of hikers near Eatonville turned a corner while hiking by a waterfall and were hit with the smell of a wet dog, which is often reported with Bigfoot sightings. They noticed a huge black creature that was crouched down like a human drinking directly from the river. One of the hikers yelled in surprise, and the creature looked at them, stared at them for a moment, and then bolted lightning fast into the trees. And that was that sighting.
How tall was it?
They didn't say for sure, but they said he was really tall
once
he stood up.
Huh.
Yeah. So that's a little bit about the legend of Bigfoot.
Wow.
It's really ancient, coming from indigenous tribes, and then has become a modern belief among many.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think about Bigfoot?
It's probably not real.
Okay.
Probably just some people in the woods Or like people saw bears standing on their hind legs from afar.
Yeah.
But it's fun to theorize about.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I think there could be a chance that Bigfoot is like this rare creature that we've never seen. I think in order for that to be true, that'd be really wild that we hadn't discovered any of its remains unless it had some sort of like supernatural abilities. I think that'd be the only way that Bigfoot could actually exist. I don't think it's like just another species of animals that's out there per se.
No, I don't think so. Because we have like infrared everything now.
Right.
There's no way you couldn't see this thing from above and then kind of follow it around if it gave off a heat signature, which it seems to be a warm-blooded animal.
Right.
There's just too many tracking mechanisms we have now for this not to be discoverable.
Yeah.
But that's me talking as somebody who has never used any of those hunting methods before.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So I'm like open to the idea of there being some sort of, I don't know, supernatural element related to it. But as for the actual creature, maybe not.
Maybe not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like, if I found out he was real, I'd be like, oh, totally cool. I wouldn't be like closed off to it.
Totally.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Nice topic.
There we go.